My name is Winne and I'm a singer and a songwriter. I'm Northern Irish Ghanaian. Northern Irish is because I was born and raised in Northern Ireland, and then Ghana is where my parents are from and where my colour is from and my hair is from. I honestly didn't know that some people don't like afros. I didn't know that some people don't like dark skin. I did not know this.
My name's McCarthy and I'm a professional boxer slash comedian. I always say Irish Jamaican. I never shy away from my Jamaicanness. I'm from Belfast. I was actually born in London. I spent all my early life back and forward between London and Belfast. So I never even put myself in any box. I knew my mum was black, my daddy's white, so I always just go, I'm half and half. I really did feel on my own, like I'm the only black person around here.
My name is Winne and I'm a singer and a songwriter. I'm Northern Irish Ghanaian. So my parents split up when I was about 4, so my mum raised all of us. They met in Ghana, so they knew each other from school, and then they got married, had 3 children, then moved to Belfast, and I was born and my younger sister were born, so that they came here to go to Queen's. They were not aware of the Troubles when they came in the early 80s, and my grandma was like, calling, is everything okay? Because she see it on the news in Ghana, like trouble, trouble. My mum's like, what? Because I guess like when you're in Belfast, you just avoid those areas. You just take the route you know is like gonna be okay. So I went to school in Newton Breda Primary School. I was probably the least aware of everyone in my family who are way more perceptive than I am and like social things like that, because I had the best time. Mostly very accepting. Like I would never think, oh, I can't go here or there. I'll go wherever I want and you can accept or not accept, I don't care. But probably there were people who were like, oh, I don't like this. My upbringing was mostly all female, like very warm. Everybody's like really encouraging and really like positive people, like my whole life. I honestly didn't know that some people don't like afros. Some people don't like it. I was like, what is not to like? It's great. It's efficient. It like draws the heat away from your head when it's too hot and it's still warm like a little hat. What is not to like? I didn't know that some people don't like dark skin. I did not know this until I left Belfast. So my mum, even now, where I'm like exploring like music and things that I want to do. When I tell her all these things, she's like, but of course you can. Of course you did it. Of course you got that. And I'm like, really? She was like, you can do whatever you want. Because yeah, she's always like positive about what's possible. That's definitely where that comes from in me, where I'm like, I'll try it and see what happens. Maybe it'll be good. If it doesn't matter. That's definitely from her. When I was growing up, I thought nun and politician were my 2 main like goals. Then I went to New Orleans to join a neo-monastic community. It's like a monastery. So I did that because I always wanted to be a nun. I do not ever want to be a nun ever again. Awful. Not a vibe. No, there's a lot of rules. I did it. I'm glad I did it. Then I went to uni in New York and I did politics, philosophy, and economics. I went to uni, then I went to Budapest. So I did the Erasmus for Entrepreneurs scheme. After I did those Erasmus schemes, I was like, I want to live in Budapest now, this is my life. Because I loved it so much. It was just, everyone was like friendly and chatty and lovely. So I got a job in a company which is selling life insurance. It was like the shadiest company of all time. The company owed everybody money. It was like people knocking on the door daily. We used to have to come in and like hide. So I was like, I need to leave. This is not good. And I was like, I need to come back to the UK. So I came to London. I went to London and stayed in my sister's living room. So then I found another job, which I kept for like 7 years. I guess that's when I got into music. So I was dating this guy who was definitely a sociopath, also in hindsight. Then he was cheating on me. I had a little bit of a breakdown. I think like almost everything I thought and felt was like decimated and then built up again very slowly from that point. That's definitely like a watershed moment in my life. Then I got therapy because I was literally like, I don't know what's real anymore. Then my therapist was like, you need to do something that made you happy when you were younger and something for you, because I had all this time as well from all this energy like back. And so then I was like, I will learn how to sing. Yeah, I started in London. I just recorded some short snippets of songs on YouTube and put on Instagram as well. And they were just covers. And then someone found me on a hashtag on Instagram and said, do you want to do a gig? And I was like, yes. It's like the stuff of fairy tales. Most of my London gigs have come from that one gig, from that one hashtag. How does it make me feel? So I think the best version of myself is definitely in music. But even if people were like, we don't really like you anymore, I'm still gonna sing. I'll still sing, I don't care. And even if this is it, if nothing else ever happened after today in music, I feel fulfilled. It's the funnest thing of all time. And I can't believe it took me this long to get here, like to realize how great it is. I'll be having a good time regardless of what happens. I think that diversity is power. Because when you have something that someone else doesn't have, usually you have an experience that someone else doesn't have. And if you bring that all to the table, usually you get great ideas, usually you get great projects, usually you have something different. If everything's always exactly the same, nothing changes. If someone is treating you in a way that they shouldn't, it's not on you. You're great, you're perfect. You've come to the table with unique experiences that are valuable, and they just don't understand it. Whatever you have, everything that you have is wonderful. And also, there are people who love it. There's always people who love whatever you're bringing. You just have to find those people and ignore the rest. Dash them, whatever, you don't need them.
My name's McCarthy, and I'm a professional boxer / comedian. I always say Irish Jamaican. I never shy away from my Jamaicanness. I'm from Belfast. I was actually born in London. My mother was black, her family's Jamaican, and my daddy's from West Belfast. My daddy is like the age-old story of, you know, Irish people immigrating for work. So my daddy went, when he was about 18, went to England to work. And then met my mummy. My mummy, her parents went to London as part of Winne's generation. I always say that people are more closer to their mother's side. That's the same with me. So I was born in the, you know, like West Indian culture and grew up the early stages of my life with all West Indian people around me, mostly Jamaican people. My family are a church family. So my early life in London was going to church every Sunday with my family. But in saying that, from when I was born then, when I was 6 weeks, I got brought home to Belfast to get christened, and I spent all my early life back and forward between London and Belfast because my parents broke up when I was probably about 3. My mummy was sick for a couple of years, and then when my mummy passed away, I came and lived with my grandparents here. It was hard because I was used to, I'm an only child, but I was used to being around loads of family all the time. I really did feel on my own, like I'm the only black person around here, and I'm the only person like in my family. I don't have no one who I can even, like if I had a brother or a sister, I could go home and, you know, we could talk about what was going on that day, but I'm going home friggin' just talking to myself or thinking, doing loads of stuff on my own. I was never made to feel any different until really when you get into like P7, then I started experiencing a wee bit of racism. Not like I wasn't bullied or anything, I was always the biggest in my class. And when I went into first year, it was like a mild transition because it's all people from all different areas. Kids don't really take like race or anything into consideration, so I never even like put myself in any box. It was just I knew my mum was black, my daddy's white, so I always just go, I'm half and half. But then when I came home here, everyone just was just calling me black, that black kid, that wee black kid. And then I remember saying to my grandma one time, when I came back, I was like, I feel so black when I come here. And then he was like, what do you mean? You are black and you be proud and all this stuff. So instead of like shying away from it, then I just dove into it then and became like a militant black guy. Just everything all black, black, black. And then I started boxing in first year. So like I remember in third year, the careers advisors come in and they big assembly and give out pages and draw a picture of what you want to do, and people were drawing like designing buildings or like architects and all that. I went to grammar school and then drew a picture of me standing in the ring with boxing gloves again in a big stadium. And I was like, Tommy, grow up, like this is serious. I went, no, I'm being serious, this is what I want to do. I was like, saying you want to be a footballer? And I went, well, if you want to be a footballer, then that's what you should put down, but I want to be a boxer. So I kind of manifested it. That mentality and attitude, that comes from my mother's side of the family, because they were all my cousins and everyone, aunties and all, they're all chasing a dream and chasing a goal, and they're always like trying to push each other on. But like you said, the Belfast attitude is always like, oh no, it's not gonna happen. And I've actually, I still do it sometimes, but I work so hard not to be that person. I had like almost immediate success in West Belfast. Like everyone loves boxing, everyone boxes, so it's like a thing of acceptance. Everybody loves a champion, everyone loves a winner. So I win national titles and going international and all, so it was good. And seeing the world for free, especially like I'm from like a very working class background, so I was seeing places where I would never have been to. If you win a fight, it's the best feeling. I can't describe the feeling you get. It's like there's nothing like it. You win a championship, you know, that's even higher. And if you lose, that is like worse than somebody dying. It's like the lowest low. That's why it is so embarrassing and so like hurtful when you lose, because you're in the spotlight and everyone sees your failure.
How have you dealt with the failure?
The last one, I went to Jamaica the next day. I was actually thinking about, do you know what, I'm gonna retire, because you know, just I felt so down about it. And in this age of social media, there's so much negative stuff coming in, so you need to have thick skin. Because people think boxers are just like dodos who don't know anything, can just fight. But boxers, if you ever talk to them, or most of them are deep people, and boxers, they spend a lot of time on their own, so they are always soul searching. And I was on a podcast. It was after I'd lost that fight. He says, what's your ultimate goal? Like, do you still want to box? Do you still want to be world champion? Or do you want to try other things? And I was like, I'm open. I don't want to put myself in a box. I want to do everything. And, you know, music, acting. So I'll even try stand-up. And he says, if you're serious about stand-up, I can get you a start. And then he was running a night. He says, you can do 5 minutes if you want. And I says, right, let me try it. And I went up and it went well. Because I've never wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and like, if it went wrong, so what? That's the attitude I had. It wasn't like my be-all or end-all. So I was relaxed up on the stage, and there was no nerves, because usually going out the fight, I'm shitting going, fuck, you could get your belly stuck. That's when I'm so nervous. But you go up, if nobody laughs, so what? I think I've got universal humour. Like when I was growing up, going to London, people want to hear stories about, so what's it like over? And when I'm here, people want to know, what's it like over there? And people's always asking me, for my whole life, what was this like, or what happened? So I think that's probably how I've honed my storytelling skills. My aspirations, I just wanna have a happy life. I don't wanna put myself in any boxes and be like, I wanna be the best boxer all the time, I wanna be the funniest comedian. Everything always does work out in the end, you know, always for me. So I've been at the lowest point, and eventually something good happens again, so just keep doing what you're doing, don't be worrying.
Someone's gotta change.